What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tackle Talk Tuesday. Today I'm going to talk about the best flounder bait on the market. I'm going to tell you why. Today I'm going to talk about the Fishbites Dirty Boxer, specifically in the new bruiser color, which is a purple and white. Alright, these baits are so easy to catch flounder with. Alright, I'm not going to say I'm not a good flounder fisherman, but I don't like flounder fishing. I don't like slow bumping the bottom, and it's not that much fun for me. So recently I was in a tournament in South Carolina, and flounder is one of the species I have to catch. And South Carolina, this time of year, the flounder haven't really moved in yet, so they were a very tough species to catch. During 4 days of pre-fishing, I didn't catch a single one, and out of everybody that was fishing the tournament, only 5 flounder were caught. So tournament day going into it, I didn't have a lot of confidence I was going to catch a flounder. So I'm going along first thing in the morning, and I come to this little point, and the way it was set up, there was a point of oystery rocks coming out, and with some water coming around it under a dock, and under the dock dropped off into the channel ledge. I said, that's a pretty good spot for a flounder to lay. So I said, I'm going to go ahead and try, just make a couple casts and see if I can. So I tied on one of these dirty boxers, and first cast under the dock, thump, missed the fish, missed my hook set. So I reeled it in, cast up into there again, reeled it up, thump, set the rod down, counted a few seconds, lifted it up, loaded, set the hook, fish on. Alright, so I literally made 2 casts to catch my flounder in a spot that's extremely hard to catch a flounder in with the dirty boxer. And I had my flounder, and guess what? I didn't flounder fish anymore that day. I moved on to redfish and trout. So I ended up coming in 3rd place. So it was a good showing up in South Carolina. But these saved the day first thing in the morning, because I had zero confidence I was going to catch a flounder, because I hadn't even seen anybody catch a flounder, hadn't heard of anybody catching a flounder. These baits made it happen. Let me show you how I have it rigged up. They're pretty simple to rig up and even easier to use. So what I did was, these baits, the bottom is flat, the top is ribbed, and they have a curly tail. So whenever you pull them through the water, the tail spins. And I consider this the bottom. You can technically run it any direction you want to, and the tail's going to react the same. So you're going to still get the action out of the tail no matter how you rig it. But how I rig it is, I want the hook, I want this to be on the bottom, the flat end to be on the bottom, and so I want the hook to come out the top. So I take my jig head, and this is a Fishbites 1/8 ounce jig head. I run it through the center, down halfway through the shank, then I poke it out the back of the bait just like that, then run it on up the collar just like that. And actually you can go down a little bit further into the bait. That's about perfect right there. So that's how I like to run it. Then you just throw it out there, let it sink to the bottom. Whenever it sinks to the bottom, the tail twirls on the way down, and it sits on the bottom, and the tail kind of floats up, and it just bounces along the bottom. And of course with fish bites, it's impregnated with the scent. So it's not going to that will help attract them too. But my daughter picked out this color, and she said, Daddy, you're going to win a tournament with this color. I didn't win first place, but I did place in an out-of-state tournament with that color the very next tournament. So I had to call her and tell her that her bait caught me the fish I needed. These fish bites make flounder fishing easy. It's coming into the season to start catching them. If you haven't thrown a fish bite ever, you might want to pick up a bag. Thanks for watching. We'll see you out there.